How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome back to Arcanum Gaming. My name is Richie. Today we are jumping into our next episode here of Pokémon Yellow Legacy, our hardcore Nuzlocke. This episode's going to be a little bit different. You can see I don't have my face camera up there, and that's because I'm recording this audio after the fact. And the reason for that is somehow when I was recording the episode, my microphone was not being picked up by OBS. So, yeah, I'm just going to be taking you through and doing my best to give you an audio recap here of everything that happened in the episode. So we load up the game here, do a quick recap on the team, and we're jumping in our first battle with trainer number 3 on Nugget Bridge here. And we're leading Silverfin right now to get some experience because I noticed that it was a little bit underleveled compared to the rest of the team. You see Waterfall doesn't quite do full KO there. And we've got Ekans at next. We're going to go for another Waterfall here. Bite's not doing a whole lot, and we're going to go and just finish it off with a Horn Attack. And then we got the Zubat here. Use Horn Attack again, and again it's not going to one hit, but that's alright. This Leech Life isn't doing too much. Gotta say, this is a bit of an interesting experience. I'm trying to narrate this after the fact. So we do heal up Silverfin there, just so that we can keep it out front. Don't have to worry about swapping. And here's trainer number 4 on the Nugget Bridge. So yeah, I'm really not sure what happened with the microphone. I was pretty tired when I was recording this, so I didn't do my normal audio test, audio and visual test. I just jumped straight into the recording, which I haven't had any issues for probably the last 12 videos that I've made. And of course, naturally, the one time I didn't test it, we had this happen. We got another Horn Attack here to finish off this Nidoran. Trying to get Silverfin as much experience as possible, just so we can get caught up with the rest of the team, stay on track, get that Seeking as soon as possible. And overall, I think our team's looking pretty good. Despite a couple of near misses in the last episode, we were able to sweep through Misty and the rival pretty easily. And as you're going to see, we're going to get through most of these trainers pretty well here. Everybody's going to be a little bit under-leveled compared to our team. So we probably should have come up this way before we went to Misty, but... And we're just doing some healing up again before we jump into our first encounter of the day, which will be right after we beat this rocket trainer. Alright, we're starting out with Ekans here. We're going to use Waterfall. And once again, not going to one hit. It's about 2/3. And we're going to get poisoned here. That's alright, we don't need to run back to the gym yet. Or to the Pokemon Center, rather. We don't need to run to the gym either. So. Alright, we got Zubat out. Next we're gonna, I think, swap to Gouda here. Is what I did, yep. Leech Life isn't gonna do much, then we're just gonna take it out with Thunder Punch here. And we're going to use that antidote so we don't have to run back to the center, which I already mentioned. Now we're going to come over here and grab our first encounter of the day. And we do get a Dupe's Claws Oddish. So we're going to go for Peck and hope that Absorb isn't going to KO us. Which it does hurt, but we do survive it. And here I'm considering if I want to attack again, which I do, because I outspeed. But then I think we're going to go ahead and swap Silverfin out for somebody else. Just so we're not risking Vine Whips and Absorbs. We decided to go Prince here, which I don't think was my original intention. I was having some issues with the keyboard also, where the up and down arrows were getting a little bit sticky when I was in the menu for some reason. And so we did get a Bellsprout here for our encounter, but I wasn't paying attention at the time and didn't really think about what I was doing. I just KO'd it and then realized after the fact that that was our route encounter, and I was talking about it here, which is why I paused for a minute. We did end up missing out on this encounter, which was okay, because we do already have an Ivysaur and we have an Oddish for backup in the box if we need a Grass type. So we're going to go ahead and KO this Bellsprout here, then we're going to wander up to the Charmander trainer, and we're going to grab that Charmander and drop it in the box, because I decided that I wasn't going to carry more than one of the Gen 1 starters with me during the playthrough. So we're going to just stick with Ivysaur until it gets knocked out, if it gets knocked out, at which point we'll swap out for either Charmander or Squirtle when the time comes. Although at the current juncture, since we do have Goldeen on the team, we'd probably go for Charmander. We're going to put Fred back in front to get some more experience. Right after we come up here and grab the Charmander. Then we're going to think about a nickname, and we're going to decide on Charlie, the Charmander. If you haven't been able to tell by now, my naming schemes are not that complicated. After that, we'll walk over here and grab the T-Empress Thunder Wave, which isn't going to be super useful to us right now since we already have it on Pikachu. And then we're going to come over here and grab a new encounter, which hopefully we'll be able to catch this one. And we do find an Abra. Now, Abra is of course tricky because it will use Teleport right away since it's the only move that it has. So right now we're looking to see if we have a Great Ball here, which we do have one. I'm going to try throwing the Great Ball and see if we get lucky. Even with the balancing changes and such that were made to this ROM hack, Abracadabra, Alakazam are all still really powerful Pokemon. Possibly the best non-legendaries in the game still. And we're going to decide now if we want to put that on our team or if we're going to stick with things the way they are. I go ahead and pick out the name Spoons because, of course, Kadabra and Alakazam have spoons. And that's about as clever as I was feeling. And here we're just taking a look at the team and making our decision whether we're going to keep our Raticate or swap it out for our new Abra. And we're going to go ahead and decide at this point that we are in fact going to box Raticate and grab our Abra, but not until after we take out these two hikers here and get some more experience for Ivysaur. And of course, Machop is going to come out first instead of a Geodude. But that's not a problem, we've got Leaf Seed and Acid. That's going to be an easy KO on the Machop for us. Then we should be able to take out this Geodude pretty easily. And as we expected, one Fine Whip is going to be enough to do it. Then we'll walk down here, take on the other hiker with the Onix. And we don't quite KO it in one hit. And this Rock Throw is going to be a little scary. Good 30 damage there, but we do survive it, of course. And now we're going to head back to the Pokemon Center and swap out that Abra and Raticate, like I mentioned earlier, so that we can just go ahead and start training it up now, since it is going to be a bit under level compared to the rest of our team. And we only need to get it up, I think it was 3 levels, started at 13, before we can have ourselves a nice Kadabra. And just like that, Spoons is added to the team. So we're going to heal up again, just to make sure that everyone's good. Although I didn't damage Spoons, so everything should have been fine. Here we are just double checking to make sure that it does in fact only have Teleport and that its moveset was not changed in the hack, which it was not. At least Abra's wasn't. I'm not sure about Kadabra and Alakazam. I imagine they probably had some balances. And then we're going to come back up here and take out some more of these trainers and head on over to Bill's house. Here I was trying to go for a double kick, but again the keyboard was being a little sticky and we ended up using horn attack, which didn't matter. We still got the kill. Spear here we're going to stick in and stay with horn attack. And here we were deciding if we wanted to battle this trainer or just dip down and skip this one for now. But we decided to go and battle him. And we're just doing some switch training, deciding what we want to swap into. I would have liked to use Fred to get that extra experience, but we know that this Slowpoke probably has Confusion, and we don't want to risk that super effective damage against our Poison type. And of course we do see the Confusion, so we made the right choice going with Gouda. And a Thunder Punch is easy enough to take out Slowpoke. And this is a trainer that did have a team change, because I believe it was originally a Nidoran. And we see this Wigglytuff, which is an easy choice for Prince. Just go in, use double kick, and get it out of here. And we see a double slap, which of course hits 3 times, because that's how the word double works. And spins us up to level 14, so we're 2 levels away from our Kadabra. And we've got another hiker up here. This guy's got 4 Pokemon, should be 3 Geodudes and 1 Machop. And this is where I lament the fact that I don't like using set mode when I'm not facing gym leaders and such, because it's just really obnoxious for switch training. Although I do think it makes the game much more challenging, especially in those major fights against the rival and the gym leaders and such. And that's right, we ran into a Zubat here, which I was not expecting. Because I really wanted to just sweep through with Fred, but again, that Leech Life is going to be super effective on us. So Gouda takes that with a nice Thunder Punch, and then we're going to see, I believe, another Geodude here. Or, nope, this is the Machop. Just kidding. So we're going to go into Burp, just to spread out the experience a little bit. So we get that super effective flying damage with our wing attack. And now we finally see the Geodude, so we're just going to go back into Fred, the Ivysaur, and clean this fight up. Then we're gonna take on this another one of these optional trainers because we do want to go up there and grab that TM. And we got us a Diglett here. Should be another easy fight for either Silverfin or Fred. And we go with Fred here. Hopefully one Vine Whip ought to do it. Which of course it does. And then we face down a Psyduck, and again we're going to be concerned about potential Psychic Confusion attack. And we'll swap in a Gouda, and Thunder Punch should take out the Psyduck, which it does. Then we'll run up here and grab this TM, which I believe should be Seismic Toss, and yes it is. We're going to decide to skip that trainer for now, and just take out the trainer that has the Oddish. Oh, I guess we didn't decide to skip it. For some reason I thought we skipped that trainer. And now we've got Spoons up to level 15. Getting closer and closer to having that Kadabra. And another Waterfall will make short work of that Sandshrew. And now we'll head over here and take on this Oddish trainer. I think she had something else other than an Oddish, but I can't remember at the moment. I think it might have been a Pidgey. So again, we'll lead Spoons for that switch training experience, and we're going to go over here into Burb. And Wing Attack should take care of this thing, although we are going to get paralyzed, which is kind of annoying. And Leech Seeded. And we're going to be facing down a Pidgey. We're going to swap out and use Gouda. And of course, one Thunder Punch should be more than adequate, with a 5 level difference. And the second Oddish out here. We're going to decide to stain with Gouda and realize that it's probably not the best plan since Thunder Punch really doesn't do that much damage. And we're going to be facing down Absorb, although we do get the Paralysis, which is nice because we are going to switch back into Burb here. So we at least won't be attacking second. And Wing Attack should be enough to finish this fight, and it is. Then we're going to head up here and finally get to Bill's house, almost 25 minutes into the recording. And we're going to notice that it appears that the sprite here has changed because I did not remember if Bill appeared as a Kabuto here. I thought that he appeared as a Clefairy. In the original version of the game, although I may have been confusing that with red and blue. I couldn't remember, and I didn't check after recording. But if I remember correctly, I think that the Kabuto outfit matches the character's introduction in the anime. From the, is it the Lighthouse episode where we see Dragonite the first time? If I'm remembering correctly, that's also where Ash catches Krabby. So now that we got the SS and ticket, we're going to head down here, go back, heal up, and then proceed on down to Vermilion. Alright, here we are with the Team Rocket Grunt. That's still the Dig TM. Still 2 Pokemon. We got Machop up first, and then the second Pokemon should be Drowsy. Still eating spoons to get that experience. Would have been nice to have had the Kadabra already. Get that super effective Confusion versus the Machop. But that's okay, we're going to swap into Burb. And take this low kick here. Go in for a wing attack. Which is more than enough to KO it. We got Drowsy up next. We're going to stick in and use another wing attack. Not going to be quite enough to KO. But we're just going to stick in since we did not get our wing attack disabled. And Bird's going to hit level 22. Here we're going to decide to use some of our items and TMs. Clear out our inventory a little bit. We're going to give that extra HP boost to Spoons there. We're going to take a look at what TMs we have. And go ahead and use that Razor Wind on Pidgeotto. Razor Wind is one of the moves in the game that was changed. So instead of being a charged attack, like Solar Beam and things like that, it now functions more like Hyper Beam, where it's still a flying move, but it will hit, and then it will need to recharge if it does not KO. We're going to decide to try and use Dig on our Nidoking, and discover that Nidoking cannot learn Dig in Generation 1. After that revelation, we're just going to cut our losses and head on down. Save that TM for later. I'm going to consider if I want to put anything in the daycare, which I don't believe we chose to utilize at this time because I wanted to wait until Abra evolved and then throw it in the daycare to get it back up on par with the rest of the team. And since we are on emulator and I can use speed up, we're able to utilize the daycare very effectively. We just hop on the bike, ride back and forth at increased speed. You can get those steps in a fraction of the time it would normally take. So we're going to come down here, battle a couple of these trainers as we make our way down to Vermilion. And I did realize here that I did not get an encounter above the daycare. So that is something that's available if we want to go back and do that in the next episode. Taking out this Butterfree, now we got a Beedrill to face. Even though we're at half health and paralyzed, we're gonna stick with Burb. Which is of course going to be one shot. And we finally got spoons to evolve into our Kadabra here. So we're going to jump into a battle here, which is not our encounter because it is, again, a Dupe's Claws. And we get another Dupe's Claws with Pidgeotto. And here we're deciding if we want to try and use Confusion or swap out, because even though we do hit pretty well, we are pretty frail at this level. And we decide to keep going, and we're going to take the quick attack here. Fortunately, it's not a crit, and we do survive. I'm going to knock out that Pidgeotto, but we're sweating a little bit here. And we're going to go ahead and just drop a potion there on Kadabra, just to make sure that we don't accidentally mess something up. We're going to move on here, battle this other bug trainer. So we got a Venonat here, which I believe is a change from the original game. It's more easy experience for spoons there. Then we got a Scyther up here, which, since we are pretty weak, we're not sure what this thing is going to do. We're going to go ahead and swap just to be safe. Since Burp is injured, we're going to go into Gouda. Again, we stay in and risk getting quick attacked, which we do not, fortunately. Get spoons up another level there to 18. And against the Spearow, we're going to decide to swap out, once again, Inaguda. You should be able to crush this thing with our lovely Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch will, of course, make quick work of this Pidgey as well. And then we are on our last trainer between us and Vermilion City. Just not where we're going to quite stop, because we want to go ahead and just grab the bike voucher, and since we do have our Kadabra, we can use Teleport to jump right back to Cerulean City instead of having to make the walk all the way back. Here we're thinking about Mankey again. We do have a super effective Confusion, but if we're outsped and get Karate Chopped or something like that, it could easily just take out Spoons. So after careful consideration for a minute or so and discussing it with the camera, we're going to go ahead and swap out. Since Burb is injured again, we're not going to use Burb. We're going to go into, I believe we picked Silverfit. No, we went with Prince. Okay. We're going to take a Scratch, which isn't going to do much, and then we're going to use Horn Attack. Not quite a one-hit KO. And then we got Eradicate here, and Prince is the perfect option since we do have our Fighting type Double Kick here, which will make short work of our Eradicate. Hit level 22, and we're going to consider going into the Pokemon Center there, which we're not. We've got the Fishing Guru here, which is going to give us the Good Rod. Which will allow us to get some better fishing encounters here, which we're going to choose not to do right now. Here we're considering if we want to heal, but then we realize that we have Teleport, so we can go directly back to Cerulean City after getting the bike voucher. Pikachu's gonna go over there and make googly eyes at the Clefairy while we fast forward through our chat here. And like I've already said a couple times here, we're going to teleport back to Cerulean City now. Claim that bike. And after we grab the bike, we're gonna head over. I believe we went to the Pokemart after this, did a little bit more inventory management, sold a few items that we had in excess, and then do a little bit of grinding off camera after the fact. And so yeah, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode of our hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Yellow Legacy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully next time we're not going to have that same issue with the microphone, and we'll have just a regular episode. So once again, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.